Hi everyone, welcome to BohoMystic. If you're returning, thank you so much. And I also want to just thank you all for your support on this channel, for the growth on this channel. I am truly honored that you have taken your time and have included me in your life. Thank you. And if you're new here, we'd love for you to join the fam. So today we're doing a reading on this new moon in Capricorn, which will be happening tomorrow as I'm filming this. And I wanted to focus on not the past, but moving forward from where we are right now. Moving forward from some chaotic energy, strong, bursting forward energy that is around the collective in the world right now. And I want to know what this new year and new moon is ushering us into, or leading us by the hand, or what lessons have we learned that we are going to implement moving forward into this new moon in Capricorn. I'm excited for the grounded energy. I'm excited for the drive of Capricorn to keep going, not letting any barrier to stand in their way. And I think that we can harness that energy in a positive way. I did do a meditation, and I actually did this meditation in the evening yesterday. And I was starting the reading, and of course, I had some kind of disruption, and also a disruption with the actual filming. And I said, okay, I understand it's not ready yet. My meditation was wild, guys. Really, really was. Let me get it. So I took a whole page of notes on here. So I'm going to move it over here so you don't see my scratchings. So I can now see better. All right. So I started out with being in a very stormy ocean. I could just, it was in the darkness, and I just felt the movement of the water up and down, and it was choppy. And then I saw a formation of a very large wave. And I was like, oh, is this like a tower moment? What's going on here? And then all of a sudden I didn't see anything. I was just, again, seeing this large wave forming, and I heard thatched roof, which was hilarious because for me, where would that come from? So I heard thatched roof, and then I heard like things can get in. And I was like, wow, and I know that there are so many thatched roofs out there that are so watertight and perfectly made and last centuries. But this specifically was referring to maybe a roof that would allow air in, maybe creatures in, rain and water, like water seeping through. And was it telling us that we needed to protect ourselves, that our protection was iffy, if we should cleanse? I mean, I didn't know where this was going. But then from there, all of a sudden, I see what I immediately recognized because of the energy. It wasn't even really seeing like what was happening in front of me, but it was like, boom. And it was a stampede. Okay, now I'm losing my voice. Interesting. So it was a stampede of fire. And I'm like, what are those animals? Who's making the noise? Like the actual noise. It's like I was reverberating with all the movement of energy. And I saw horses, and then I saw cattle, and then I saw one enormous bull charging ahead. And then I heard bull in a china shop. Bull in a china shop. And I was like, okay, is this us? Is this what's happening to us? Are they asking us to be this bull in a china shop? Or is the energy that's coming through, right? All this fire and all this energy coming through this new moon towards us. Is this what we are being caught up in? And should we surrender to it, partake in it? I don't know. Then again, the energy was like fire. It was red, orange, yellow. It was beautiful. And it like, I wrote down here, energy was very vibrant and it glowed. And then I said, new moon question mark. And then it became again, horses. And I'm like, oh, well, we're going into the new horse year in Chinese astrology. So that's really interesting. I don't know what that is. I should look that up. Okay, this is crazy. So I did not know it was a fire horse. So in the Chinese zodiac, 2026, you can see it up here, is the year of the fire horse. The Chinese Lunar New Year begins February 17th. Holy moly, guys. Wow. Okay, I'm getting chills. I did not know it was a fire horse year. Well, okay, now I understand my meditation and what was coming to me. So let me continue with that. Let's keep moving. Then I saw, after the horses, I saw like a carriage just going. I didn't see horses dragging it or anything, but it was like a buggy. And I saw it just going into this like fire stream. But it was like slipping and sliding, it was like moving like that. And I'm like, holy moly, we have to hold on. I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to really, really be big. And it's going to be very fast. It's going to be very impactful. And I see that the energy can go in so many ways. When we are bombarded with energy like that, it can get out of hand, or we can feel overwhelmed by it, or we can feel bombarded by it. And whilst it's not damaging or harming us, we could feel overwhelmed by it, which causes discomfort. So I think that we need to keep an eye on that. Then I wrote down, it was like the Eight of Wands on steroids. Like the Eight of Wands incarnate in my mind's eye. It was amazing. And then I said, are we in a race, or will this energy hit us at this speed? Are we the ones racing away, or is that the energy that's coming in through this new moon portal, this new moon opening, this new moon awakening, this new moon unveiling, right? The evolution of this new moon. I said, like we've been pent up and about to explode energetically. And that's what I felt. I truly did. I said, is this a collective growth / awakening? Are these emotions that are also like on steroids? It can go from love to anger, aggressivity to passivity. I think there's a lot going on here. And I know that this moon is also happening with Mars and Mercury. And the Mars energy is all over this. And I'm not going to be one to say that this Mars energy is... I guess I'm going to say that we can harness this energy and hopefully ride this energy and come out stronger for it without going to our baser instincts of destruction. I am trying to see this as, how do we move forward from these difficult situations that we are experiencing? So then at the end of this entire meditation, I hear the uncoiling of us. And that blew my mind, because we are coming out of the snake year. And I still think that we have little pieces of shedding, right? Uncomfortable bits that have been stuck to us that we haven't been able to rub off or move forward from. And that's those attachments that just stick to us like nettles. And I think that we're being called to finish that before this new Chinese New Year. And we still have almost a month. And I think that's going to be the uncoiling of us. I love that. I love, we can say, the unfurling of us, of a new us, I hope. You know, when a snake is coiled up, it is either about to attack, it's hurt, sleeping, agitated, hiding. And I think that's been us. I think with everything that's going on and how difficult and all these deaths and rebirths, and all this death and rebirth going on, that we've been coiled up in a corner. And depending on what snake you are, you could have your tail up about to sting. You could be ready to strike out at others. And I think that we need, right? So when you are coiled up, you are tense, you are angry. I just feel it vibrationally. And I think that we need to lessen that. We need to release that from our bodies. Our bodies are holding up so much pent up emotion, anger, frustration, sadness, loneliness, fear. In the end, it boils down to fear. And I want us to be able to, all of us be able to find moments where we can release some of that fear, to surrender into the energy that's around us and learn to survive in it in a healthier way. I hope that you're following me. I was very called to alchemical decks. And again, like I said, I'm not focusing on the past here, guys. I want us to see from here on forward. I want us to move from the past. Not to say that a card won't come out, that is about the past. Of course, that may happen. I pulled out lots of decks that I don't use for my readings online. A lot of personal decks, especially the Honasa House one here. I walked past this. This was not out yesterday. I walked past this today and I was just like stopped and looked this way. I mean, it was kind of intense. And I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't used that in a while. And again, I've only used this for me personally. And I kind of was like, but it doesn't really go with what I'm doing. And I didn't pull it out yesterday, and that's what I wanted to go with. And I'm out to like move my body, move my hand this way. And it was like, no. And I'm like, there's a thing that we have, I hope that we learn to listen to, it's like this faith in what we are being told. It's acquiescing to something bigger than us. And in that moment, I was like, what am I doing? I know that I have to pick up this deck and bring it to the table. And I don't know how it's going to fit, but I know that it's going to do something intuitive for me. And I brought it out. And, I was looking at it and, oh my gosh, I'm just picking this up. That's crazy. That's the Five of Pentacles. But that's like the fire, except there wasn't purple. Imagine like the purple being red and orange that I saw. This reminds me, this has so much movement in it. And now I understand why Spirit wanted me to get it, because it will help me or keep me in this environment that I was given in my meditation. So yeah, so let's get to this. Let's see, what is it that we are alchemizing, or what alchemy, like what have we alchemized and moving forward with in this new moon. And let's not forget, Neptune is leaving Pisces at the end of this month. And that is so exciting because talk about being grounded again. Talk about being clear thinking again. It's like getting off a ship that you've been on for so long and onto solid ground. And who else better to guide us than Capricorn, because they have sure footing. They can climb mountains. They can do the riskiest things and still manage to keep their footing. And I think that's what we need to emulate. We as a collective need to hold on. And we're being told that we can, that we have the power to hold on and move forward in the direction of our dreams, in the direction of our truth, in the direction of what we want this world to be. And I want to empower all of us, and I want us to be embodied. You know, we have to be embodied and be present in this world that we are living, that we chose to live in. We cannot just live in a spiritual etheric realm and not practice and put into practice what it is that we believe in this world. At least that's my opinion. And I think we're being called to do that. Even though our legs may feel wobbly in the beginning, getting off that ship that we've been in, right? The ups and downs and the emotional fog that we've been in. We are going to start seeing clearly as we keep moving forward. We're going to get stronger on our legs, and we're going to be able to climb mountains, because that is what is being asked of us, and that is what we can do, my loves. I know I sound very passionate about this, and maybe it's the energy that's around me and that I'm tapping into. But I am. I truly am. I didn't do the pre-shuffles, so let's do this. I'm going to strive to just go with one card for each of these, and let's go from there. I did want to get a numerological card because I wanted to see, you know, what kind of energy, again, what energy are we moving into? What energy are we birthing? Or what energy are we taking in this new moon with us? Well, there it is. Bottoms of the deck. Wow, 33. Social skills, hope, optimism, liberation, success, prosperity, excitement, enthusiasm. Your guardian angels encourage you to maintain a positive outlook on life since your luck may be about to change. It's time to use your captivating energy and inspirational personality. Don't let your ego get the best of you. Absolutely. I mean, maybe that is what I am feeling. I am feeling this. I am feeling that we need to. And I really want to just focus on this. It's social skills. So for those that have been hermiting for a while now, which I think is probably a lot of us, I think it's time for us to come out of hermit mode. Maybe we have overstayed our welcome. I do have an amazing, in my opinion, or in my humble opinion, reading that I did, I think when I first started this channel, about is it time to hang up the hermit card? And while it is such a necessary part of our journey, or we will not awaken and continue down the path that we are meant to, we are also not meant to stay in that, I don't know, chapter in our lives forever. It can become a comfort zone. It can become a crutch. And then it leads to fear, agoraphobia. We don't want to talk to anybody. We don't want to participate because it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it is uncomfortable. But we're not here to do only comfortable things. It's bringing light and love into that uncomfortable situation is what we're being asked to do. And I feel that very strongly. I feel that this is not going to be a year of just you. It's going to be a year of us. And, you know, that stampede was not one horse. That stampede was several, I don't know, 100, dozens. I don't know. It was just boom. It was crazy. It was just beautiful. And the noise and the sound was beautiful. Okay. So what are we alchemizing then? Well, you know what? Let's get this moon card out of the way and see what it is that What does the moon have to tell us? So where are we meeting this new moon at? With what kind of energy are we meeting? Oh, there we go. That was very simple. Thank you, Spirit. Bottom of the deck, we have Fortuna. I love it. Look at that. The Sun and Jupiter. Number 11. Let's walk hand in hand into this new paradigm that we are establishing and fighting for and creating. It's beautiful. Look at that. I love that. And that abundance is what you make it. Abundance is what fills you up and makes you feel whole, or rather, an exaltation of who you are and how you show up in this world, where you fully take up your space, where you fully give your light to join others, where you fully understand the importance of you in this world. So if this is you fully, let's make it practical. If this is you fully stepping into your role at work, if this is you fully stepping into your role as a spiritual being, if this is you fully stepping into the role of any role you have, right? We play out roles. We embody roles in this physical 3D. It's taking that role and making it yours and making sure that you're doing what, you're claiming it, not allowing someone else to claim it for you. I love it. And fortune's coming your way, hun. Fortune is coming in for us all. So let's see, what have we alchemized? Or what has been alchemized to get us here or to help us move forward? I think that's the one. Winter. Wow. It's obviously winter in the Northern Hemisphere. But winter for me is the hibernation, right? It's actually the coiling of us, right? As a snake, it's where we become insular, where we need to pull away from the energy, or actually live on a more frugal source of energy. And it's not because of out of necessity, it's also because out of desire. There is something honoring the death of the environment around us, of Mother Gaia going through her changes in season. And when we're super in tune with that, we become that. We emulate. We internalize. What happens with her happens within us. And this is where we are coming from. But you see that gorgeous star there? I think that we are going to start being pulled into the hope of a renewal, of little seeds starting to germinate underneath the surface, of the trees preparing to birth greenery, of waking up out of a recuperative mode, of waking up from using resources that we had compiled before to understand that it's now to find resources moving forward again. Wow. Okay. This reading is already quite beautiful. I am moving so many things around today. I feel a lot, to say the least. I feel a lot. All right, let's get one of these cards. I think this deck goes so well with my alchemical magnum opus. This is a gorgeous French oracle deck called Puissant, which means powerful. And it's awesome. very minimalist. Influences, so we're looking at external influences underneath the deck. And I know this in the book talks about how we need to protect ourselves from external influences. This is really about protection. If you can see this spiky ball, coming down potentially, and it could harm this portion here of the drawing. And I also want to say, though, there is a need for us to put our warrior face on. There's sometimes a call for using only certain words or never uttering things that could potentially bring up negativity. And whilst I do believe in positive thinking and positive speech, I do not feel that we should limit our use of vocabulary when it's apt to truly express yourself in the only way that we can. Most effectively, at least, right? To one another. Not everyone has developed, clairvoyancy. Not everyone considers themselves an empath. We have so few things that we can use to discuss our thoughts and ideas. And again, in the 3D physical world. And art, language, the written language, music, of course. Now, these are meant for us to communicate. It's born out of our need to communicate. I think this is us all coiled up, afraid of what these external influences have been. And I don't want to cower anymore. And I'm not saying to go out into the world like Rambo. Absolutely not. That's not what I'm saying. I just think that we're being asked to take advantage of this energy, of this portal, of the eclipse that's coming soon in February, of emerging a new you, projecting this love, this compassion, this light outwardly into the world. But in a grounded, present, embodied way. I think that is very, very big. Live in the world the way you want the world to be. Project those things into the world, and that's what you will see back to you. So, I did pick up my deck, one of my decks, and this is the Mustard Seed Oracle. And I call these little seeds of wisdom. And the reason why I picked this deck is because I wanted to see what kind of nugget we're taking in with us, or that we actually may have learned wisdom that we are bringing with us, or that we. So, yeah. Bottom of the deck we have, wow. Recognize that you're not the main character in everyone else's story. Be okay with being your own and live your adventure. Amen to that. Right now I'm seeing 3333. Holy moly. Okay, 3333. And that was the bottom of the deck. Holy moly. Thank you, Spirit. I just saw this in the timer. Wow. Okay, this is going to be a long one. So, recognize that you're not the main character in someone else's story. This does not cut you down to size. It's just saying everyone is the main character in their lives. And your decisions and what you need to do may not be at the forefront of someone else's priority list. And you need to be okay with that. This is where you check your ego, you check your pride in relation to the rest of the world. This is just about you living your story, being present in your life. knowing the importance of your life and your adventure, but having the humility to know that everyone else has that right to be the main character in their lives. Yeah. All right, now let's get a tarot or two. What else do we need to know, Spirit, regarding this new moon in Capricorn? I can't believe that. Wow. All right, no, it's too many. All right, I'll leave it at that. The Two of Coins, absolutely, that is us juggling. I mean, that is us being present. The Two of Coins is being present, because if you're not present in this world, in this life, in your life right now, what happens? You can't juggle. You can't keep all these balls in the air. You can't play all these roles. You can't, you don't feel like you can handle life, to be honest. Let's see what he has to say here. So Robert Place says here, the lion is fixed and the eagle volatile, and the lion swallows the eagle. Polarization, something that is stuck or blocked. The fixation of the volatile. Interesting. It's like us trying to control the volatility, right? All that energy that I was seeing. Maybe this is telling us that we can do that, but that we need to pay attention and we need to be present. You know, it's so funny because I started out this reading saying so passionately, I don't want to focus on the past. And this Two of Coins is saying, don't live in the past, don't live in the future. Let's just focus on the present. When you're focused and present, you can integrate your needs and fulfill those needs more depthly. I love that. I love that. Okay. Now let's get this Hodasa House Tarot and see what comes up. All right, Spirit. That's a lot, but I'm going to keep them because this called me. There we are again. Like you're being bombarded by the emotions. But I think that we need to see that we are bringing in with us those 5 beautiful flowers. I think that we're finally realizing, or that I hope that we're realizing, that those flowers make a beautiful bouquet and we can take them and move forward with them. The dichotomy, right, of the sadness and overwhelming deluge that's happening here, where you feel like you were potentially even drowning, I think is very apt. I think is very telling. This is worlds colliding, the present meeting the past. Because those flowers were put into that cup before all of the rain. Wow, I'm just also hearing learning to dance in the rain. Okay. So let's take a look at these cards. We are looking at number 2002, the void, longing, technology, ambition, genius, forward thinking, stress, and depression. You have more control over your life than you realize. Learn and execute what interests you. Turn things around. It gets better with time. There are plenty of friends to make. So chill out, have fun, and open up. Go outside. Holy moly. Thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Absolutely. I think we are being told and definitely being guided to go outside. I think it's time for us to push ourselves, and I hate to say this, out of our comfort zone. We are being asked to move forward in life, right? Join in that stampede to a better tomorrow, into this new, again, paradigm, into this new world we're trying to create. Go after what it is that you want, what you're building, what you're doing. You know, go after that dream job, go after that friend, go after love, go after your goals. It's about not hurting and trampling others to get there. It's knowing there's abundance for everyone. Wow. Look at that. Here's your palace, Jupiter and Venus. And again, number 3. 3 is creation. Creation it's about creating the world you want to live in, the world that you are manifesting. I love that. Look at the fertility. Absolutely beautiful. Then the alchemy is sugar. Wow, sacrum. Very interesting. Let's see what they have to say in here. Sacred sweetness, pleasure, and attraction. Oh, how sugar dances on the tongue, no matter how intellectual and scholarly our pursuits. Sugar reminds us of our longing for simple pleasures. This material had many medicinal properties and was known in alchemy as a sacred elixir. Now most of our sources of sweetness, both literally and metaphorically, are highly processed, defined for us by our culture of consumption. This card is a call to explore the simple sweetness in life. Can you add tenderness to your alchemical experiment? How about joy or even laughter? It is likely the pleasure you crave will not be found from manufactured means, but from the childlike wonder residing in the heart. Remember the alchemical wisdom of like attracts like. Holy moly, absolutely. And I love that she writes, listen to Nina Simone performing this song, A Little Sugar in My Bowl, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. Yeah. Take a page from Venus. It's what I was saying about you projecting the light and love within you out into the world, living and embodying it. And that's what you will attract. And that's also what you're activating in others. Because I'm going to take that one step further. Your awakening, your upgrades, your activations activate others. Your spark of light is unique, but not only unique, it is necessary in this collective, in our time here. No one else can fill that spot but you. And we are stronger together. We are brighter together. I guess this is also about not focusing on the negativity and focusing on the doom and gloom, which is very hard to do. But what you can do in small steps is to make sure that your interactions with others makes them feel like they had a piece of sugar. They had a drop of sweetness in their lives. You know, I always say, people remember how you make them feel. And that is, I think, a very, very big piece of wisdom that I can impart to you today. Look at this. Pleasure. It is not selfish to seek out pleasure, and it's not selfish to want pleasure. I just want you all to know that. Absolutely not. This is finding pleasure within yourself, for yourself. This is about understanding that pleasure allows your growth. And I'm going to take this even one step further. It's also growing your inner child again, right? That childlike wonder, seeking pleasure, seeking sugar, seeking the good in life. It's a call for us to do the same. And then we have accepting that we all don't get the same gifts frees us to receive what is meant for us. Absolutely. This reading is writing itself. This goes so well with the bottom of the deck. As I said, you are a unique being. You are a unique light, but don't forget that we are all one. But we are pieces of that one. So you're a piece making you unique. Everyone is unique. And someone's gifts are not going to be what your gifts are. And accepting it and not being jealous of it or wanting what others have and learning to hone and appreciate what it is that your gifts are will free you from those lower attachments that the ego just holds on to. And then it allows you to then appreciate others' gifts. It allows you to celebrate others. And in turn, they will do the same for you. So go be the success that you are. Go hone those gifts that you have. Go be the best at something that only you can do the way that you do it, right? Put your signature on something and let others realize the necessity of those gifts and honor those gifts in time. As we said, we have the crucified serpent, and that's the hanged man. He's all coiled up there. I think that we've put in the sacrifice. Again, I'm looking at this reading as moving forward through this new moon, the new beginning. And I think it's asking us to uncoil, cut ourselves down from that hangman mode. If you've put yourself up there purposely to remove and isolate yourself or to get out of the way of that stampede, it's time to join this energy. Join this energy. And by you joining this energy, you change the energy for the better and for the betterment of everyone else, because you are that piece to that puzzle that has been missing. He writes, represents the process of calcination, in which the serpent, who is Mercury, wow, and Mercury is conjunct with Mars right now, becomes a willing sacrifice, suffering, loss, discomfort, and illness. Uncoil from your loss, from the sacrifices that you have made of feeling like you've had to sacrifice. Allow yourself to extricate yourself, right? No one's here to cut you down. You need to make that decision. You no longer need to be a martyr. And you also need to ask yourself truly and look within, do a lot of introspection and think about, have you been martyring yourself out of also ego? And being seen as a martyr has formed your own identity. Because I feel like we have been stuck in these moments, in these cards, living them and embodying them out of habit, out of fear. And I think that they have become part of your identity, and that becomes really hard to break from. They're not your identity. These are growing pains and moments of self-actualization. Now you got to go and live with that new knowledge, with that new version of you. And you're going to have to revisit this in the future because it's all cycles. So It's time, again, to put yourself out there. The sugar, we have the 6 of bastos, which are the wands. Look at that. I mean, is that not the pleasure card that we see here? It's time for this crucified serpent to find pleasure in life again, to exude this and to also give this to others. And you're going to receive that in turn from your environment. This is a step-by-step thing that we are being asked to do. We are being asked to sow these seeds of love and light and tenderness, right? With the Venusian energy here. The nurturing creation that we're capable of so that we can birth this year. So that we can make an influence on this extreme energetic channel. I think it's clearly telling us we need to focus on our divine feminine right now. I love seeing this. It feels like a portal is opening for us. And I think many of us won't want to take it because it seems silly, because it's a sugar portal. It's how can we find pleasure when things are so difficult? But how can we not also? You know, there's a balance about not sweeping under the rug the difficulties in life and acknowledging them and honoring them and respecting them. But there's also a moment where you realize there are things that you can do to alleviate those things, not only in your life, but in others. We have, and that 6 of Wands, of course, is success and beauty, but this is, I mean, in the Rider-Waite, but this is just the harmony of passion and energy that's coursing through your veins. It's about letting yourself be caught up with this fire horse stampede. I still can't believe it's a fire horse, and I didn't know that. And that's what I saw. We have the 6 of Pentacles. Again, this is the harmonious flow and alignment with our pentacle suit. That's the 6 de oros. I mean, this deck is, I feel like this is what I was seeing, with the exception of the people. It's that now I truly understand why this deck was being called. This is a way where Spirit has allowed me to somehow show you the vision that I was presented with. So that can maybe inspire and activate you, I think. Let's align ourselves and ground ourselves with Mother Nature, with this world, with the Luna, with the moon, with the Sol, with the sun. Let's allow ourselves to blossom forward. This is the promise of spring coming out of winter. New life is to be had, new life is to be lived, and to be abundantly lived. We have the Caballero de Copas, which is the Knight of Cups. And we have, and then we have the Ermitañ, which is the Hermit. I was surprised he didn't come out before, and I am honored that he's come out now. I think you are asked to blossom and become the butterfly out of the chrysalis that you have been in. And I think that you are being asked to be the Knight of Cups. This is a highly personal, highly directive reading. You are the characters in this reading. It's taking up the flag, right? Taking the mantle and leading with it. It's also telling you you have the resources to go into battle, right? He has a full suit of armor. Knights were chosen because they had the ability to fight in battle. And I think that you are being told that you have all the resources to take back, to forge ahead in your life, and that it's possible to achieve all of these things under the banner of love, under the banner of emotional security, with sweetness, with respect, with compassion. This is not the Knight of Swords. This is not the Knight of Pentacles. This is the Knight of Cups. And I think that leading the way and getting everything that you've worked for and you're manifesting, because this is your abundance too, will come into you, will bless you, because you're blessing others with an energetic frequency of love and respect. I love that. I feel that very strongly. So absolutely beautiful reading. I hope that you get something out of this. I think it's time for us to be present, my loves. That's accepting what is, and doing something about it. It's taking that first step as the Fool. It's deciding to get off the sidelines and let the world pass us by. It's knowing things are uncomfortable and that they're uncomfortable and being okay with that, because you can handle it. We can't be afraid to live our lives. I send you so much love and affection. I ask that you be blessed with strength and vigor at this time. I ask that this energy fuel you these months ahead. And I'm always wishing you all the success that is meant for you. Till next time, bye.